to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to do a muted down spring look, but it turned into this. So this is what you've got. I know it's another cut crease, okay, don't hate me. I'm just in a cut crease zone at the moment, but I promise my next video that I will do, it won't be a cut crease. I promise you, okay? I don't know if I said that in my last video, but I promise you the next time I won't do another cut crease. So my main challenge with today was to do a quicker talk through video because I'm just so bad at doing them. They always end up to be 20 minutes long, and even I don't want to watch 20 minutes of myself. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button below and join our little family. So without further ado, let's get on with this tutorial. Well, hello there guys. It's been a little while. I had my new Colourpop collection come through, and it's the Nectar range. And I mean, like, look at these shadows. So as soon as I got it in there, I got it in the mail yesterday actually, and I was like, I know what I'm going to do. And I've got a whole new palette all of Colourpop. Look at that. Isn't that beaut? So that's what inspired me to do like a spring makeup tutorial. And the fact that it is spring, and the fact that I got a new backdrop, and I was like, duh. So I'm just going to take my Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC, and I'm just going to pop that on as me primer. You guys know this is my favourite thing to use ever. It just makes my eyeshadow look so much better. Then grabbing my palette full of Colourpop eyeshadows, I'm taking this shade here, which is called Hear Me. And I'm just going to take that colour and pop it all the way onto my eyelid to dry Soft Ochre out. It's got like a pinky undertone, which is quite nice because we're obviously doing like a coral kind of look today. So I don't know what this palette is called, but it is the Nectar range. They don't have names on them like individually, but from this mini palette I'm taking this shade here as my transition shade, and I'm just going to pop that into my crease and on the outer C area. I just use circular motions to buff that all in. Reminds me of a peach smoothie shade. Can't find it, so this will have to do. This will have to do, donkey. This will have to do. Then all I'm going to do is just take the next shade along, which is that really beautiful bright, like it's almost like a pale coral, but like a bright pinky orange. I don't know, it's beautiful. So I'm just going to take this shade and pretty much do this same thing, but this time just kind of keep it like tighter into the crease. I'm using the same brush, but just keeping it lower down so we can still see some of that like orange poking through. Okay, so this time I'm going to be taking my 227 brush from Zoeva and then dipping into that end colour, which is the brightest shade of them all. And then I'm just going to keep this shade towards the outer C area, like the outer corner, just because I'm going to start darkening that bit up next. Then I'm picking up this shade here, which doesn't have a name for whatever reason. I have no idea. I'll go online and I'll see if I can figure out what this is called because it's such a beautiful shade. So I'm pretty much going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take it on my 227 brush and put it on the outer corner of my eyeball. All about building the tones up. Honestly, this thing here is just so ugly. It was bigger yesterday, like it actually looked like a wart. I'll see if I can find a photo and show you. I was like, that's not going up. Like the scab was just disgusting. So like, I filmed an Instagram video, but I didn't film a YouTube video because it's just like freaking gross. I could just see the comments now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the haters and the trolls will come out definitely for that, and it will be like, oh no. And then next I'm going to go in with Popular Demand, and I'm going to take that on my Throughline little fluffy brush, and then first of all I'm going to pack on the colour where I want it, so keeping it in that kind of C shape, and then I'm going to blend it out using my Morphe 506 brush. I really like using this kind of technique where you use a more dense brush to put on the product first, and then you use a little bit more of a fluffier brush to blend it out. Then I feel like the eyeshadow doesn't get everywhere, it kind of stays in that certain area and then it blends out nicely. And then I'm taking the darkest brown shade that I have of Colourpop eyeshadows, and it's called Cloud 9, and I'm just going to do exactly the same thing as we just did before with the lighter brown shade. So now it is time to cut the crease, and I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Light, and I'm going to use my NYX 33 brush to carve it out. I literally love using concealers to cut the crease now. I feel like it's such an easier way to do it rather than like cutting the crease and trying to blend around the cut crease. So then before I do anything else, I'm just going to blend this really like harsh line here out. I'm first going to put down the shade that had no name, which is that really warm red shade, just to kind of give it like that first undercoat. And I'm going to use my Morphe 506 brush for this just because it's smaller and it's a little bit more precise. See how already it's kind of like faded that out? And then I'm just going to go in with that dark brown again and just do right on that like outer edge area. So you can still see some of that warm brown. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're going to cover this area in a bit of glitter in a minute, but just to make our lives easier, just in case the glitter does separate, I'm just going to take the Lit Cosmetics Opera glitter, and it's in the Grind 3. So all I'm going to do is take the Lit Adhesive, and I'm going to take it on my Sigma Bent eyeliner brush, which is the B12 one. So I'm going to dip it into the adhesive, dip it into the glitter, and then pop it on. Okay, so I really like the look. The only thing that I'm unsure of is this little section here because it's kind of looking too like separated and just like not blended. So what I'm going to do is take this Colourpop shadow. It's called Flipper and it's their Super Shock eyeshadow, and it's a beautiful orange. Unfortunately it did get crushed in the mail, but it's fine. I've kind of saved it-ish. It still works. So I'm going to pop that on that little section where it's not so pretty. So pray for Amy because I don't know if this is going to work. Pray for Amy. It's looking so much better. Hey, I like it. Then for today, for eyeliner, I'm taking my NYX Gel Eyeliner in black, and I'm taking that on my Zoeva 317 winged eyeliner brush. So I'm going to try and draw a really I'm going to try and draw a really small wing, but we'll see. I'm going to do it long but like thin. And then for the rest of my eyeliner, you guys know I love using felt tip. So I'm going to be taking Trooper by Kat Von D, and I'm just going to fill that in and then go across the rest of the eye. So for primer today, I'm going to be taking something new. I don't know if it's new out, but it's new to me. And this is the Urban Decay Quick Fix Hydra Charged Complexion Prep Priming Spray. Bit of a mouthful, but it smells incredible. I just sprayed it, and I'll tell you why, because it's got coconut water in. And I was spraying it and I was like, oh my god, I freaking love this smell, what is it? And as soon as I saw coconut, I was like, that's why, because I'm a type of person that will bathe in anything to do with coconut. So it says shake well, apply to the skin before moisturizer or makeup. It's got vitamin B in it, which improves tone and texture of the skin, and then it brightens and smooths the skin as well. And the coconut replaces the moisture. So this is perfect for me at the moment because I am so dry. So I'm going to shake well like it tells me to, and then spray. Oh my god. I want to bathe in this. Oh my god, it smells so good. Yes, Urban Decay. And then for foundation today, I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and it's the matte and poreless one, which is for normal to oily skin, and it's in shade 220. So I'm just going to blend that in using my sponge. For a drugstore foundation, I'm like obsessed because it's like really thin, like you don't feel like you're wearing any foundation, which I love. Ooh, don't frown at me. So, like always, I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape concealers. I'm using light, medium and light to apply this in the normal areas that I conceal. I think it is the best concealer on the market. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't think you'll get anything better than this, and if you do, I will be curious to see where and how that happens. I have a full coverage concealer, so that's that. then I dot the light one. And I'm just going to blend it out using my spongy sponge from Real Techniques. So now I'm just going to quickly do my eyebrows. My mirror gets so dirty. To set my concealer in place, I'm taking my Kat Von D brightening powder in the shade Petal. And I'm going to take that on my 114 brush from Zoeva to apply that underneath my eyes. Pretty much anywhere that I put the concealer, I'm just going to put that on top just to set it in place. It's got like an undertone of pink, which you can see like counteracts any darkness, which I love. And a little bit goes a really long way, like you really don't need to put on a lot of this product. It just brightens up the under eye area. I know I use this in pretty much every single video, but it is literally my favourite bronzer in the world. It's Dark Tan from MAC and it's the Mineralized Skinfinish Powder, and I'm just obsessed. I'm going to take that on my Zoeva 126 brush and make my skin all bronzed up and sun-kissed. So on to my contour, I'm going to be using the same brush, but I'm going to be using the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. But I've never really talked about it too much in detail, but I honestly am obsessed with this palette. I have a backup palette just in case. Like, I am that obsessed with it that I have one ready to go just in case I drop this, lose this, anything happens. People may say that's a bit extreme, but I don't care. But yeah, so I wore this to the races and so many of the girls I went out with were like, oh my god, what is your contour? It looks like a natural shadow, but it really does like emphasize your cheekbones. So I told them and they all went and purchased it literally then and there. I mainly use the middle shade because that's just what suits me and my skin tone. Yeah, it's amazing. So if you haven't had this palette or tried this palette and you're looking for a new contour palette, this is the boy. I use the same brush. Look at that. Whoa. Just gives it that extra. Now I'm going to take the Kat Von D powder on my sponge and I'm just going to pop this underneath my eyes purely just to catch fallout when I do my eyeshadow, and then I'm going to put it on the side of my nose to slim it out and make the bronzer and contour look a bit more sharper on my nose. Do I look crazy? And now I'm going to finish off with the eyeshadow look, so I'll reel you guys back in. So I'm taking the shade Top Notch and I'm just going to pop this on my 507 brush from Morphe, and I'm going to run this along my lower lash line. I want it to be quite smoky, so I'm just going to do the same kind of smokiness all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. Then I'm taking the tiniest little bit of this shade called Cutouts and I'm going to run that just below the brown just to kind of give it like a transition shade so it can go into something. I'm going to give myself a little inner corner highlight and I'm taking Liar Liar, which is a very pale pink shimmery shade. It's beautiful. And I'm just going to pop that in my inner corner using my brush from... I'm going to take my blank canvas brush. You guys always ask me what it is, and it's the E10 brush. And then to make this eyeshadow look extra sassy, I'm going to take some of that glitter. I'm going to pop that on the lower lash line, like in the inner corner bit, because I just want to be sassy today, okay? Now for the falsies. I have no idea what falsies I'm going to put on today. I wanted to try these ones from Huda Beauty. They're the Easy Lash in Camille. So let's get rid of this excess powder. I'm just going to take my brush from Le Page Trends, and it's just like a big fluffy brush. Just sweep off all of this powder. I really fancy putting on some cream today, some cream highlighter and then powder on top. Because I want to try the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette with the collaboration with Nicole. I find it quite glittery, which is fine. I just find it a little bit too much for me. I prefer more like finely grinded powder, that makes sense, rather than it chunky. And this is a little, I'm not saying it's chunky because it's not, but it's a little too chunky for me. So I don't know whether to try that at Fix Plus today and see how that works out, or go in with cream first and then put it on top of cream. So for the cream highlighter today, I'm going to be taking my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. So grabbing my sponge and a little bit of that highlighter, I'm just going to pop it on my cheeks. Okay, so then taking that Glow Getter shade, I'm just going to pop that on top using my Anastasia brush. That's so much better. See, it just sticks to it and gives it a nice sheen rather than it being like powdery. Love it. As I said, I got the new like Nectar collection from Colourpop, and it came with a blusher and a highlighter. But look how gorgeous it is. Dun, 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 dun. Just going to pop it on the apples of my cheeks. Oh, I'm using my 127 brush from Zoeva as well. So for my lip liner, I'm taking the shade Oversized, and this is from Colourpop, and I'm going to overline my lippy lips. Okay, I don't know what this shade is called. Jacquard, I don't know. That was too orangey. I need more of a corally peachy colour. So instead I'm going to try Exaggerated, which is the same thing. It's a satin liquid lipstick from Colourpop. Let's just hope it's a better colour. And then I want some gloss on the lips, and I don't know how you pronounce this brand, and I'm so sorry if you're watching. It's Douce, D-O-U-C-C-E. But it's a glossware, and it's so beautiful. It's like a champagne shimmery colour. So I'm just going to pop this just on the centre of the lips. Just to add some shimmer. Alright guys, that's it for this makeup look. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, remember you can let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up and leaving me some comments down below. I love reading through them all. Remember, you can follow me on all other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. It's all Amy's Makeup Box. I've made it really nice and easy for you guys to find me. So until next time, I'll see you soon.